Deputy Speaker. Through you to the Honourable Premier. Madam Premier, you have a reputation as Mama Action, but when it comes to the crisis in our hospitals, it appears that you only get involved when it hits the front pages of our newspapers, as when you recently visited Charlotte Maxeke Johannesburg Academic Hospital. So I wish to ask you today, why you seemingly only react to bad publicity and you ignored earlier appeals from the doctors at this hospital and other indications of the general crisis in our hospitals. Thank you.
Honourable Premier.
Do you truly want me to respond? Thank you very much, Honourable Deputy Speaker and Member Bloom. The work that you are doing in many instances doesn't actually appear in the media. That's the unfortunate fact. Even as late as yesterday, one was dealing with the issues related to the health sector, and not in Barra, not in Charlotte Maxeke, but in other hospitals in the province, as well as in clinics, because health is not only about hospitals. So you only know that appears in the media. And I think if you could give yourself better opportunity of understanding the program of the provincial government working together with the Department of Health, you'll appreciate that we actually spend more than 40% of our time dealing with health matters, including other MECs who are not health MECs, dealing with various regions in the province on health-related matters. But they don't appear on TV, they don't appear as news headlines. We don't tweet about that because we believe that it is our responsibility. So you are right to ask this question, but I'm saying to you, even yesterday, one was actually dealing with the issues around health that may not have actually been on the newspapers here today, because we do not want and we do not expect that everything that we do has to appear in the newspapers. You'll only know the ones that you assume are a problem. Even with Charlotte Maxeke, it was not also about the issue that came out. In fact, even with Charlotte Maxeke, it's precisely because we have a turnaround plan for Charlotte Maxeke. We had worked with central government together with the management of the province in health, and when these issues came out, we had to go and engage with those clinicians as to why have things not been implemented, including the management. And that's the reason why we went to Charlotte Maxeke. But even today, I'm going to leave here early. I'm going to be dealing with issues of health, but you'll not find them in any newspaper, and I'm not going to tweet about them.
Thank you very much, Honourable Premier. Honourable Bloom, your supplementary question.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. I hear the Honourable Premier. Yes, one shouldn't react only when it hits the newspapers. I agree with that. In fact, there's a lot that isn't in the newspapers that should be in the newspapers, because there's been a general crisis in our health, a lot of it unreported. And I think that there is actually a lot of good work that you do that goes unreported, but I have to tell you that there's a lot of very bad things that goes unreported that should be reported. I want to give an example of where you did go to a hospital and intervene. You went to Chris Barra last year when I raised in this house repeatedly about the power failures at that hospital. You went there and you accused people of corruption, not corruption, you accused of sabotage. You said that there was sabotage there. I've heard no follow-up to that. It doesn't appear to have been the case. But this year, we have had 7 power cuts at the Chris Barra Hospital. The last one was on Friday, early Friday morning. The health spokesperson told us in a SARP report yesterday that in fact it was a lie that surgeons had to operate using the light of a cell phone. There were no operations going on. If you read the Star today, in fact there was a Caesar operation going on, and it's not uncommon, I have to tell you, for surgeons to have to operate by the light of a cell phone, or as you know, at the Charlotte Maxeke Johannesburg Academic Hospital, I mean, there's a surgeon who goes there and puts something like this on his head. I mean, this is appalling. Do you want Really? Do you want our surgeons to take their camping equipment to do operations? Do you want them to use cell phones to light up, you know, because there's a power failure? But Madam Premier, you did go to Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital, and they've had 7 power failures this year. What are you doing to make sure that the critical situation at our flagship hospital, I agree that there are general health problems throughout this province, but this is a flagship hospital. You promised countless times, you said there's a turnaround plan, and yet time after time we get power cuts and surgeons have to operate in the dark. It's not acceptable. What are you going to do about the situation at that hospital specifically, and in general? You say you spend 40% of your time. Well, you know, you've seen this crisis coming. It really should have been planned for beforehand.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, in terms of Rule 138, subsection 7, I have a discretion to invite any member who may want to put forward a supplementary question or make an additional remark with regard to the matter under discussion. Any member? Any member? Member Hope Papo.
Premier, I just wanted to ask, is it not a fact that part of the issues we're dealing with is to deal with the baseline and the fact that bulk of the budgets of our hospitals have to actually be augmented with money from the provincial level and national level? I mean, this issue you're talking about. And is it not true that until we deal with some of those issues, the problems will continue because they are systemic problems?
Thank you very much, Honourable Papo. I now call the Premier to respond to the supplementary questions. Or short remark, Honourable Premier.
Thank you. Thanks, MEC Papo and Member Bloom. The issue of power outages is actually an embarrassing kind of situation. It can't be accepted. It can't be justified. It's a reflection of some of the inefficiencies that are linked to the interventions that we are putting in place in line with the turnaround, where we want hospitals to take full responsibility as compared to having Department of Infrastructure dealing with these issues. We've even gone to an extent of making sure that we employ new personnel that deals with facility management in the Department of Health, because you will remember that at some point we said part of the challenges in health is lack of leadership and management. And we have identified those critical areas, including facility management. The issue of the use of alternative energy sources, including in areas such as Chris Hani Baragwanath. Again, we will be engaging with the Department of Infrastructure Development and the Department of Health to deal with those kind of matters, not only in Chris Hani, but also looking at other institutions and other public facilities in the province. You see, Member Bloom, what we need to also appreciate, whilst any wrongdoing or mishap that happens must not actually be tolerated, we also need to acknowledge that there is a lot of good work that is being done. If you look at the outcomes that we have committed ourselves towards realizing, your own quarterly report will actually reflect that a lot has been done, albeit the challenges of serious financial constraints in the health sector, the pressures of the influx into the health sector, the challenges around infrastructure that needs intervention. But there is a lot of work that is taking place, good work, capable men and women, even the work that we're doing to encourage everybody in the health sector to become a partner in finding solutions. That for me is quite important, including yourself, that we all have to not seek to score cheap political points, but seek to appreciate the kind of decisions that we have to deal with. You again, because it has not appeared on the news or on the radios, and I've not actually made a tweet about it because I don't do that. I take it as my own responsibility. The Department of Health, prior to MEC Papo, MEC Mekwe, and ourselves, we have acted on instances of insubordination in our health institutions. We have dealt with the issues of fraud and misuse of our facilities and stuff. There are people that got suspended and they are facing disciplinary charges. The unfortunate thing is that when you do what is expected of you as government, it does not become newsworthy. But when somebody says this is what government has not done, then it becomes newsworthy. So we have done, and we are continuing to take drastic measures in the health sector, because and we're doing it in a systematic way. MEC Papo is quite correct. We must deal with the historical challenges that have to do with health in Gauteng, and we believe that it is not only a problem or a solution that can be found solely through the Gauteng provincial government. We're working with our local authorities, we're working with central government around those issues. And I'm quite hopeful. I'm quite hopeful because there are thousands and thousands committed and loyal people who are working in the health service. I'm also quite sure that, as you know, that in Barra, for example, in Krisani Baragwana, per day you have no less than 20,000 people walking into that particular hospital for one reason or the other. And we are also told that that hospital delivers 22,000 babies per annum. I'm saying it is those things that do not actually catch the headlines. They don't appear on Twitter, on Facebook, or anywhere, because it is what is happening there. So what we need not to do is to just rubbish everything and project a hopeless situation. The situation needs intervention, and the intervention is being made, and there are capable men and women who are committed in working together with us. And I'm also quite happy with the leadership in the health sector that is working together with us, and the support that we're getting from central government. We will not hide away the challenges that we're faced with. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Premier. May I invite Honourable Moriarty to read the first question. Honourable